and welcome or welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be kind of catching you up on what's been happening lately. I have some incredible news to share. Please watch through to the end. And I think we're going to start off with a daily affirmation. I have what it takes to create my dream life. Everything I want out of life is possible. Every day I am moving one step closer to living the life I've always wanted. What I want is moving towards me as I am moving towards it. The end of May was just filled with a lot of goodbyes. I was saying goodbye to my job that I had resigned from. I had been working with them for close to a year, and I just knew that it was time to go. So I worked with them through the end of May, and I wrapped up on May 31st. It was bittersweet. It was really hard. That job, that position, those people healed me. And while it was hard to say goodbye, it was time, and I was ready. And so I said goodbye. Another big change, my son, who is 22, I know, how can I have a 22-year-old son? But I do. He is married. He has a whole wife, and she lives in California. She lives just outside of LA, and he was living here in New York. They had decided, they chose to make LA their home. And so last month, my parents and I dropped Tyler off at the airport. He had a one-way ticket to LA, and he was gonna go and live with his wife. They have this super cute little studio apartment, and they are starting their lives together. And it was another bittersweet moment, and then leading up to it, I tried to spend as much time as I could with him and just try to take him in, just take him in, because now he's living on the other side of the country, and yes, I can visit, but it's not the same. You know, it's different. It's different, it's a change. And it was hard, but I felt like I know in the deepest part of myself that this is what is meant to happen, and I'm so happy for him. My parents and I, we were so gracious, and I think just so generous with our love and admiration and well wishes. And it was a beautiful moment, and I'm just so excited. And since then, it's been now 3 weeks since he's been officially a resident in LA, and they FaceTime me all the time, and I think this is just the beginning of another kind of relationship with my son and I, and now my daughter. So all good things. So the end of May was really an amazing chapter, ending on a lot of kind of, I don't want to say loose ends, but yeah, kind of loose ends that finally found a kind of an ending or a new beginning. My mother and I have been spending a lot of afternoons just going on walks together, and it has just filled me. I feel like the little girl in me is being loved and cared for so deeply. That little girl that always craved her mother's undivided love and attention is now receiving that. I did not speak to my mother, my father, and my sister for nearly 4 years. We just reconciled last November, and I just built the courage to visit with them, see them face to face this past February. And I spent kind of more time just developing our relationship over the phone. And now, since April, I've just spent so much time with her. I just love my mother so much. And I'm in awe of the woman that she is. I see her as this whole person outside of me. And yes, she's my mother, but she's also this incredible woman who I so admire. And the interesting thing is that, she's recently retired from a job she held for over 20 years. and she has purchased a home in North Carolina, which is very close to where my older sister lives. They'll be like 10 minutes apart from one another. Going to be moving. She's going to be relocating there, and that will be her new residence. So we've really been taking advantage of this time in my life where I resigned in May, and I've had a lot of extra time to spend with her. And it's just restored me. And I know that her time, it's coming soon, probably mid-July, she'll be moving officially to North Carolina. But I know that this is just the beginning of our relationship. And I am so excited for what we're going to continue to build with one another. And healing is possible. I was so hurt for so long. I'm gonna cry. I was so hurt for so long, and now I feel so full, and I'm just so overjoyed with happiness and deep, deep, deep love. And I want to shout it at the top of my lungs. It's been incredible. Get myself together. And now, I mean, all of this has been really, really good news, but the final piece, like the creme de la creme, the cherry on top, I had my first interview on June 1st, the day after, and it was an incredible interview. I applied for a director of training and staff development position, which was very much aligned to what I was doing as a management consultant and really where I found my passions lied. This position was posted, and within a day of submitting my application, I had an interview. It went off swimmingly. It was an amazing interview. I felt so confident and calm and just self-assured. I felt there was this real connection and ease in my interactions with the people that I met with. And at the end of my interview, she asked me if I would be willing to come in and meet with some other members of her team, and also to create like a 5-minute presentation. She told me not to overthink it, but she just wanted me to show them, teach them something. And this was just a way for them to understand a little bit about my personality and my teaching style. And even that, preparing that, I had Michael who helped me with it. I mean, he's a teacher, so he really helped me with kind of what the structure of this lesson should be. Guys, I went into this interview and this room was packed, okay? There were 8 people. There were VPs and directors, and I was sitting at the head of the table, and I just felt so aligned. And the way that this organization even runs a meeting is just exactly the kind of space that I want to be in. They start with like a check-in. So they'll go around the table and they'll ask people to check in with themselves. How are you feeling? What do you hope to get out of this meeting? And who do you think will be able to support you towards those goals? It's perfect. There's like this very supportive network of human beings that are engaged in open and honest dialogue. And I was blown away. It just felt like this was kismet. This was meant to be. And I'm in this room and I feel 100% myself. I am answering questions from, 8 different people. I was just talking. I was just having a conversation with 8 strangers, and we were just getting to know one another. And at the end, I did my presentation, and my presentation was based on, it was a snippet of one of the courses that I developed as a management consultant, and it was incredible. I was made an offer shortly thereafter. I negotiated my salary. It was accepted, and the next day I got the call. And so I'm going to be starting June 27th, and I had the option to start earlier. I do want to spend as much time as possible as I can with my mom before she moves to North Carolina. So friend is a very special title, And my mom is becoming a friend. No, she is my friend. And I look forward to spending time with her, talking to her on the phone. Guys, I never thought this was possible. I never thought that I would get a job within a week of quitting a job. I never thought that I would get to this place of healing with my mother and this kind of friendship where we could just sit and talk to one another and listen to one another and just be there for one another. I never thought that that was possible, and I'm living it. I am living it. I'm living my wildest dream, and I'm just so excited. I mean, this last year and a half has been a total roller coaster, just a huge time of transformation and growth. And I've made it here, and I know it's not over. This is just the beginning. All right, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. Until my next video, take care and shine your light. Talk soon.